Several lawsuits he's now facing from 24 different women following Brown's practice yesterday. Take a listen.
You know, I've been honest and I've been truthful about my stance, and that's, you know, I never forced anyone, I never assaulted anyone. So that's what, you know, I've been saying it from the beginning, and I'm going to continue to do that until all the facts come out on the legal side. I have to continue to just, you know, go with the process with my legal team and you know, the court of law. I never assaulted, disrespected, or harassed anyone, but at the same time, I do understand that I do have regrets as far as the impact that it's have on the community and people outside of just myself. You know, and that includes my family, that includes this organization, that includes my teammates in this locker room that have to answer to these questions, that includes, you know, the fan base of the Cleveland Browns, that includes males, females, everyone across the world, you know. So that's one thing I do regret, is the impact that it's have triggered on so many people. And yeah, it's tough to have to, you know, deal with.
Shannon, what's your reaction to everything Deshaun just said?
I'm not surprised. He's maintained his innocence throughout this process, Skip, and he continued to do that yesterday. And people say, why don't he just apologize? I say, well, apologizing will mean some level of guilt. And the last thing you want to do without this case being adjudicated already is just like, did you hear him? Tony Busby going to track right into court and say, this man apologized. Well, Mr. Watson, what were you apologizing for? So he has to maintain. So I didn't hear anything yesterday, Skip, that says, well, wow, he's guilty or he's innocent. He just maintained, this has been his stance from the very beginning, that I'm innocent of what they're saying I've done. Now, it's hard for me to believe that in Deshaun Watson's mind, he doesn't believe that he believes that he's done nothing wrong. I believe that Deshaun Watson, Skip, in his heart of hearts, believe that he's done nothing wrong.
I agree with that.
But
that could be really scary.
That could be right. But these women, on the other hand, says no. And so this is another case, Skip, of she 24 times versus he one time.
I wrote that down. It's he said versus she 24 times.
Exactly. Yeah. And so, Skip, what it is, but no matter what, innocence or whatever you here, this is a pattern of very disturbing behavior.
Yep.
And reaching out to 66 massage therapists is not normal. I'm not so sure that he was looking for a therapeutic remedy for what was going on with his body at the time of seeking out these women, Skip. But the Browns knew what they were getting themselves into. This is not their first rodeo. They understand what has transpired with the Me Too movement. When you take on someone, no, Skip, it doesn't have to be professional sports. Even if it's a regular job situation, if people get wind of it, it's going to be a problem. And so the Browns knew well what was transpiring. Had it been settled or not, had it been 2 women, 12 women, or 24 women, Skip, it would, obviously, the 24 is like this, the sheer volume, the magnitude of the women, and the allegations of what they're alleging is very disturbing. Yep. But the Browns absolutely knew what they were getting themselves into. Skip, this wasn't going to go away. Man, okay, this happened in Houston. So if we bring him to Cleveland, news won't travel from Houston to Cleveland. And did Deshaun get Deshaun out of that situation? No, that's not how it works. Your baggage is kind of like, Skip, you like to think that the baggage that you checked in Atlanta, when you arrive in Atlanta, you're going to go pick it up at baggage claim. That's how it works. The baggage that you have, you don't get to drop it off and it doesn't follow you. It's coming with you. Unfortunately, Skip, you can't lose that baggage. Sometimes the airlines will lose your baggage. You can't lose the baggage that you've accumulated over your life. So for me, Skip, I didn't hear anything yesterday that I did not expect to hear. I'm innocent. I didn't do what they said I did. I didn't force anybody to do anything against their will. And that's my stance. That's where I am. That's all I heard. Now, maybe somebody else took something different out of that, but I did not.
Okay, obviously, to your point, Busby said yesterday in a statement that Deshaun obviously needs counseling. But to your first point, I would lean in that direction, except if he goes and seeks counseling, it's another admission of guilt. So Correct. He can't do anything right now except do what he keeps doing.
Right.
Dig in.
Denying.
Yes. Okay, so as we just watched and listened to, the quote that just left me baffled was this convoluted notion of, I do understand, I'm reading it here, this is from Deshaun yesterday. I do understand that I do have regrets as far as the impact that it's had on the community and people outside of just myself. That includes my family, the organization, teammates in the locker room that have to answer these questions. That includes the fan base of the Cleveland Browns. That includes males, females, everyone across the world. That's one thing I do regret, is the impact that it's triggered on so many people. It's tough to have to deal with that. Okay, this is just me. If I were advising Deshaun, I would say, just leave that alone, because you can't win with that quote.
No.
I'm not even sure what it means, but he's saying, I'm sorry for all the people who are getting impacted by this unfairly.
Right.
Okay, well, we don't want to hear that.
No.
Nobody needs to hear that or wants to hear that.
Right. The people that was impacted the most were the 24 women that's
Correct.
bringing these allegations. But but like he said, you know, I have a legal team that's advising me what to say, when to say it, how to say it. So I'm just gonna let the process. Skip, for me, I was like, guys, I understand that you want to talk about this.
That's what I would say.
This is a very
this serves no purpose at all.
very serious allegations.
Yep.
But right now, I'm going to let the legal process play itself out, and I would really appreciate it if you kept the questions to football, because I'm not going to be able to answer
Yep.
or go into depth like you would want me to. So I don't really see what purpose, because I don't know what the media thinks he's going to have a slip up and say something that he's been rehearsed, and when you go into that's why it costs so much to be a lawyer, Skip, because you think about, you spend 6-7 hours in the courtroom, you spend 8-10 hours outside the courtroom, because they're prepping you. This is what you to say. When he asks you this is what you say. And if you don't remember, it says, not to my recollection. Don't you start guessing, well, let me think. It might have, because they're going to trap you up, because they write down everything that you say. Well, you remember this, Deshaun? You said on this day right here, you didn't do that. Well, I don't remember. I don't recall.
Okay, so in the bigger picture, a female columnist at the Akron Beacon Journal last week called for Jimmy and Dee Haslam, the owners, to step up again and address the new allegations out of the New York Times bombshell piece of, what was it, 10 days, 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
And I'd love to hear that myself. Do I expect? I do not. I think they will take, they'll go completely the other direction. They're just going to stay completely out of harm's way right now, because they're like, well, we have no responsibility. We don't have to stand up and talk about this.
Skip, what are they going to say? We take the 5 women that came out in the beginning. We take the 12 women that came out. We take the 22 women that came out. We take the 24 women now. We take all these allegations serious.
Yep.
Deshaun Watson's in the process of going through this, and when it comes out, we'll have more to say. But at this time, we have nothing to add or subtract from the statement that's already been put out.
You sound like you should be advising them, right? I don't know. You sound like you've been through this before.
I have been through this before, Skip. I have.
Like that. Well, in the end, it comes down to Deshaun. And from this point forward, if I were advising, I'd say, just take football questions.
Yeah, that's it.
Because it serves nobody's purpose here.
But Skip, let me tell you, it's hard when you believe and you know. Now, I don't know what Deshaun's thinking, but I'm telling you, having gone through this, when you know, you just let me know. There'll be a chance for you to speak, to have your say, if and when it's necessary. And that's the way you have to approach it. I'm paying a guy $800,000 an hour. You damn right I'm going to listen to him.
Yeah.
Because if I'm not going to listen to him, why the hell am I paying him? I go it alone and save my money. Because I can assure you, Deshaun Watson's probably put up $1 million retainer.
Oh.
And he's blown through. He's blown through that.
You better believe.
Trust me.
Yes.
This, I mean,
Rusty Hardin.
Yeah, this case is gonna probably cost him $5 to $10 million. This and attorney's fees.
I might even go a little higher on that. All I know, bottom line, by the day this whole story gets a little sicker and a little more sordid. And I just don't need to hear, I heard him say it once, and I don't need to hear him again say, I never assaulted anyone, I never harassed anyone, never disrespected anyone, never forced anyone. I got it. I don't want to hear it anymore. Right?
Yeah,
Next.
Yeah, but just when you read it, you're like, damn. I just stopped reading. I can't read anymore. I just can't. I can't.
I hear you.
It's a story.